Reminds me of the Cinderella ugly stepsisters, you know, where Cinderella's mom was in fact her stepmom and she was slighted and treated like a second-class citizen. I think the judge should step in on a defense motion to try to help clean that up. I do. And having said that, I think this case is going to hinge on how you pick your jury. You know, I think you do want blended families. You know, you want people who do have children. You also want people who have never had children, because hopefully you'll get a fractured jury and maybe you can hang it with one lone juror out there who just feels, you know, for all we know, this could have been a rotten kid. Not to say that any kid has it coming, but that maybe something the kid did triggered it. And maybe unpopularly, if you will, many parents would have done the same thing, you know, God forbid. But that's all you need is just the one.
For sure. Great insights there. And it's interesting to me, Dwane, that she has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, and that can really shape the trajectory of the trial, especially the defense case, right? Tell us what you expect from that.
Well, absolutely. You know, when you plead not guilty by reason of insanity, in Arizona, it's called guilty except insane. You know, you basically have to, she basically has to admit that she did it, okay? And then it becomes a battle of the experts. There's going to be psychological experts on both sides. Maybe, you know, there's going to be all kinds of expert testimony about, was she in her right mind when this happened? Could she appreciate that what she was doing was wrong? You know, there's going to be a whole bevy of psychological experts that testify in this case. But at this point, she can't say, I didn't do it.
Brad, that's an excellent point there. And prosecutors will probably point to some of her demeanor when Gannon was still missing. In fact, neighbors spoke out during that time. Let's listen to one of those neighbors talk about her demeanor.
So when I came home from work and I looked over there, she was smiling. She was actually acting like she was at a barbecue. Because I was like, that's very strange. My son's missing. I'm over here acting like we're having a party, because a lot of people came to the neighborhood to offer to look for Gannon. And she was out there smiling, and she was just enjoying the company and was just too relaxed. Not like a parent that was missing their child.
So I started looking and looking. I stayed up half the night just looking and looking and looking from frame to frame to frame to frame until I saw Sunday. The kids were outside playing. She picked them up. I could hear her tell Gannon, Gannon, you get on this side. Lamb, you get on the other side. And they drove away, and I watched them. They came back. He got out of the car. He took off running to the house. And so that Monday I saw him. I saw her walk to the truck, back up. Then I saw Gannon come out the house, and I was like, man, he doesn't look right. He doesn't look like he did Sunday, because Sunday he was running and playing, and he looked like he was struggling. Like I said, like he was drugged or something, because he just could barely move. He got in the truck. They left. So I just kind of went through the videos to see what time they came back. So when they came back, I saw she get out of the truck. I could hear her lock the door when she got out of the truck, and I could hear the garage door opening. So she got out, she locked the truck, and went in the house.
And Dwane, those neighbors can be key witnesses, right? And we probably expect to hear from them that the one neighbor had surveillance video. This all on his, camera on his home, his security video on his home with Letitia Stout going in and out. And given her plea, maybe she can explain some of the oddness in her behavior through the expert that you just mentioned. But what do you think as far as these key witnesses from neighbors and video?
Well, what's going to be more important than what the child was doing and what the child looked like was her. If she was smiling and she said hello and she was conversational, and she didn't appear to be, out of her mind or experiencing hallucinations or hearing voices or anything like that. I mean, if she appears to be functioning normally, it's going to be really good for the prosecution, because they're going to say, look, she was fine right around the time that this happened. And the insanity defense is a tough defense anyway. And when you have video of the defendant acting normal, that can be a problem.
Yeah, Philip, what are your thoughts on that and the way this trial may unfold given her defense, but also that they have evidence like her acting normally?
Well, look, sometimes mental illness ebbs and flows depending on how often and whether or not you're consistently taking your medication, if any. She may have never had a proper diagnosis throughout her juvenile and adult life. And it wasn't until her arrest that defense counsel recognized perhaps some type of mental defect or mental disease and had her seen. And for all we know, maybe she was in the care of a doctor who just put her on a low-dose antidepressant, or maybe just put her on a low-dose mood stabilizer, or nothing at all. And that can throw you into psychosis. So we'll just have to wait and see what their expert says.
Sure, and I'm sure prosecutors are going to point to the fact that she tried to cover her tracks, cover up the crime. She had the wherewithal to know that it was wrong, that she, hid the body in a suitcase, miles, thousands of miles away, it seems. But we have to stop here discussing this case. I have to let you go, Philip DeBay. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And, of course, Dwane, thank you as well. We're going to squeeze in a break. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more ahead here on Court TV.